if anyone thinks I'm throwing shade at them, then if the shoe fits in it. It's not everywhere that you go that everyone can come with you. Sometimes you have to have confidence in the fact that, listen, there's a vision I have, no one else understands that vision, but God's got my back because he's the one who gave me the vision. I know all things will work out for my good. Hey guys, how are you all doing? Today is another, you guessed it, chit chat get ready with me. So as I mentioned in my last video, I went on a bit of a school tour and I went to do like motivational speaking at various schools. My foundation is already running out, crazy. While I was talking to the various students, there was one thing which kept coming up to me, which I wanted to share with them and which I thought was very important for anybody. As your vision changes, as your dreams change, as your dreams grow and you have higher ambitions, you as a person, you must grow. But also the people around you should create an environment that is conducive for your growth. So your friendship circle and the people around you more than likely might have to change along with those dreams and with those goals. You know, and I tweeted it as well, that you are a product of your environment, and you know, flowers cannot bloom in the dark. You need people who are going to create an environment for you which is conducive and welcoming for your growth, which aids to your growth. So sometimes the reality of the situation is you outgrow your friends, you outgrow the people who you've always known, and sometimes that can be painful. You know, sometimes you can know people for years. Like, I have had some friends who I have known for so long. We went to the same primary school, we went to the same secondary school, we lived in the same area, we did everything together, but we're not friends anymore because the places where I was trying to go, they didn't understand it, and thus they couldn't come with me or produce an environment which would allow me to achieve what it is I was aiming for. And sometimes that's a harsh reality, and sometimes that has people, you know, looking at you like, oh, you're a snake, you think you're better than everyone, you think that, you know, you are too good for people. Like, as I was growing up, I was always made fun of because I spoke a certain way, or I had certain ambitions. I took more things seriously than other people did, things like my studies, and that got me clowned by a lot of people because that's not the sort of values which they had. So when my values was changing, it was, oh, you're being boring, or oh, like, they didn't want to be around me because I was not conforming to the sort of lifestyle that they had. And obviously, being a young girl, you want to have, or a young person, you want to have friends, you want to have people, you want acceptance, you seek acceptance all the time. And so when people disapprove of what it is you like, you change the things you like rather than not trying to impress those people anymore. And so when I finally did embrace that, listen, Courtney, you have certain dreams, you have certain goals, there are certain things which you might have to, you want to achieve now. You want to get good GCSE grades, or you just don't want to be gallivanting on the estate anymore, or you don't want to go clubbing anymore. Anything like that, you don't want to do that anymore. And then you let the people who you've been friends with, the people who you have found comfort with, you let them know the dreams and the visions which you have had, and they discourage you. They tell you that, listen, that's unattainable. Listen, you don't want to go through that. You don't want to have to do that, because so far what we have been doing has got us this far. You know, we've been fine living, like, for instance, if you have your dreams that you don't want to live on the estate anymore, you want to have a bigger house than you have now, and you're going to start working towards it, or you don't want to be taking public transport anymore, you want to be whipping a car that you attained legally. Like, when you have these sorts of ideas, a lot of people can turn around and tell you, listen, but you haven't had a car, you haven't had a, you know, a big house, you haven't been getting good grades, but you're still alive. So, you know, all those things that you were doing wrong the first, you know, before, they're fine for you. All the things that you've been doing so far, they haven't killed you, so why are you trying to change it? And the truth is, you're trying to change it because you've had enough of that. Yeah, it might have kept you so far, but obviously you want to change, so it didn't keep you well. And a lot of people don't like that. Sometimes the friends around you don't want you to do things which they cannot imagine themselves doing. And sadly, that's a reality for a lot of people in their friendship groups. Some of the friends who we have around us, or the people that we have around us, are small-minded compared to us. You know, they don't have the same ambition that we have. And because they're so small-minded, they cannot imagine themselves going to the places which you're saying you want to go to. They can't imagine themselves attaining those good grades. They can't imagine themselves getting those cars. They can't imagine themselves getting those big houses. They can't imagine themselves having a relationship with God. So as soon as you say it, because they can't imagine it for themselves, they don't want you to have it, because you're about to go into a new dimension which they can't go to with you. And that means there's going to be separation. And sometimes when we have got comfortable with people, we don't want them to leave our side. So what we can't have, we don't want for them either. And it's sad, and I've seen it happen so many times. But I want to encourage you that, listen, if you are unfortunate enough to allow yourself to be limited by the people who are around you, you will not attain your dreams. You will not attain your visions. You will not get to your goals, because nobody is going to create an environment for you which will allow you to do so. And sometimes it does involve being alone, and some of us hate being alone. Like, I know that for a long time, when it came down to it, you want to have friends. You know, you don't want to be alone. You want to have people you can call and be like, oh, do you want to join me in doing this? And sometimes you get to a point in your life when you've outgrown your friends, that you look at your phone, your contact list, and it's like, who can I even call to come with me? None of my friends can go with me to where it is I'm going. And sometimes you have to have confidence in being alone. It's not everywhere that you go that everyone can come with you. Sometimes you have to have confidence in the fact that, listen, there's a vision I have, no one else understands that vision, but God's got my back because he's the one who gave me the vision. I know all things will work out for my good, and so I'm just going to have to go it alone and have confidence in God's strength for me. I won't need those people to help me. The people who I need to help me get to where I'm going will show up at some point. And sometimes that's a really scary thought, but a reality and a truth which you're gonna have to accept and you're going to have to find comfort in. And yeah, sometimes it is hard. Like, I know I have had to change, you know, get rid of some friends. And a lot of people might ask, well, then how do I cut people off? Because obviously it's gonna be difficult, one, because I found comfort with you. And this whole sense of comfortability, you should feel comfortable with your friends, but your friends should not make you feel comfortable in the old person you are, to the point where you feel so comfortable that you don't want to grow, because growth is uncomfortable. You can't feed off other people's negativity. You can't feed off other people's lack of ambition. And when you become ambitious, there are going to be people who are going to dislike it. There are going to be people who will tell you, you're moving a bit mad. Like, what's this sudden ambition that you have? This is ridiculous.
You must have lost your damn mind to be talking about my dreams like that.
There are going to be people who tell you, that's a bit moist, like you can't want to do well in school, like we don't do them things here. But you're not trying to be here for the rest of your life. So you need to start practicing the things they do where it is you're trying to be. Do you get what I mean? Like they say, when you get to Rome, do what the Romans do. If you're gonna confine yourself to an old mentality that your friends have of being lazy or just being frivolous or being childish, that's where you're going to stay. But if you're trying to get to a place where successful people are, where a place where people are wealthy, to a place where people get good grades, to a place where people get astounding degrees, to a place where people aim for the highest, to a place where people work the hardest, to a place where people are the wisest, to the place where people are the kindest and the warmest and the most giving, if that's where you're trying to be, you need to start practicing the things that they practice so that you can dwell in front of them. And it doesn't mean that every time you try to embark on a new venture, you must change your friendship circle. Because what I'm trying to say is, if your friends don't want to grow with you or allow you to grow, you've got a big problem. Sometimes, you know, I've had some of my friends I have had since the beginning of my life, and like they're some of the closest people to me, because every time we get to a new milestones in our life, we both evolve. We all evolve. It's not like I'm trying to evolve and they're trying to stay in that same position. We are both evolving at the same time, and it's a beautiful thing to see. But I've also had friends who are where it is I'm trying to be, and sometimes that's very important as well. I encourage you guys to surround yourself with people who are at or have been to the places where it is you're trying to get to, like mentors or just peers who are getting good grades or who are achieving. If you want to buy a house at 25, find somebody who's done it and ask them, pick their brain about how they were able to do it. And I'm not saying only become friends with people who can offer you something, but if you are not in a productive relationship with somebody, I'm talking about when you meet each other, is there any growth after that conversation? Is there any growth after that meeting? Is there any growth after that phone call? If it's just, what have we solved here? All we've done is gossiped. All we've done is complain. All we've done is laugh and chuckle about somebody else. All we've done is pick at each other and push each other down. All I've done is let you talk down to me, or all I've done is talk down to you. There is no growth in such a friendship. And what's the point of having a friendship or a relationship that doesn't allow you to get closer to some sort of vision or fulfillment of some sort of purpose? That's a purposeless relationship, and that's a waste of your time. That's a serious waste of your time. Sometimes having fun is actually unproductive because it's not really fun that you're having. You're engaging in pure stupidity. I remember there'll be times where I needed to revise and my friends are talking about, oh, let's just go and stand near a brick wall for 10 hours just talking and busting jokes. And because I wanted friends so bad, and because I was silly and I was not ambitious at the time, that's what I would do. I would engage in that. But when your vision changes, you think, I can't afford those hours standing there doing nothing, really doing nothing. I need to be doing something. I need to be revising. I need to be staying home to be safe. I need to be resting. That's something that happened to me a lot. Sometimes when you're trying to balance your ambition with your old friendship circles or with people who you feel like you must satisfy because they're gonna feel as though you think you're better than them, and you're trying to maintain that sort of rapport of, oh, we're still friends, I still love you. You feel like you should overexert yourself in order to be in that friendship. And then the time when you should be resting, the time when you should be strategizing, the time when you should be reflecting, it's time you then spend giving to them so that they don't feel alone, and then you over compromise yourself. And that too is a very dangerous act to do because it wears you down. Over time, you're gonna realize that you can't sustain that sort of friendship. And you can love people from a distance. You can love your old friends or friends from a distance, you know. You can embark on a journey which they're not going on, but you can just pray for them from a distance. You know, you can WhatsApp me if you need help. You know, when you decide that you want to grow too, I'm here for you, B. Like, if you need contacts, I've got that for you, B. But I shouldn't let you so close to me that you can impart your opinion on my vision and on my dream. Because if I'm weak-hearted, if I'm not confident, if I am wavering, your friends could do one of two things. They could either build you up, steer your feet into the ground and say, be confident in who you are because you can do it. Or they can say, yeah, you're right to not be confident because you're not really smart enough to do that. The thing is, they don't say it directly. They won't tell you you're not smart enough to do that because that's just an insult and they'll seem like your enemy. A lot of people conceal it with, they'll just laugh at you. They will really just laugh at you, and that discourages you. Have you ever told your friend a vision or someone you know a vision and they laugh and you just think, wow, embarrassment? That's an issue. That kills your dream. Don't allow yourself to be confined by other people. Don't allow yourself to be limited by other people and their thoughts about their own life and yourself. You know, you can't live your life making other people comfortable. And that's one thing that has taken me a very long time to learn, that not only are some people going to have opinions about you and not everybody is going to like you, but the worst thing you can do for yourself is not only trying to please everyone, but trying to make sure everyone around you is comfortable, especially when nobody is making sure that you are okay. And I mean, you don't have to surround yourself with people who are always getting the best grades, because I know some people think, oh, when, you know, if you're trying to achieve something and you're trying to get up there in the world, you've got to cut off everybody who's ever made a mistake, and you've got to cut off anybody who just doesn't live in a way that matches the way you want to live. Exactly. I'm not saying that. I have like friends who have never been to university before, you know. I keep them around me because they offer me something completely different but so worthwhile. You know, I go to an amazing university, but just because you have not been to university before doesn't mean there is nothing which I can learn from you. In fact, there is so much in another, you know, if you are a productive person, if you are a person who spent all that time reading the word and studying the word, or finding wisdom or starting a business, then surely you know way more about building a business and entrepreneurship than I do, despite the fact I have a degree. It doesn't matter. And I can learn a lot from you. The same way that if you're trying to be a millionaire, you can have a friend who is very, very happy with their lower than average salary. They're perfectly happy with it, but it's the wisest person you know. And when you need advice about friendships or relationships or your self-worth, that's the person that you go to. And that's the person that's the issues which you can't go to your friends, your rich friends with, because they never give you advice that you need. But you have a friend who will pray with you. You have a friend who will sit you down and tell you, listen, this is the sort of thing you need to do. The sort of friend that will snap you out of a stupid relationship that you're in. The sort of friend that will bail you out of if you're in financial trouble. The sort of friend that will sit you down and tell you about yourself. That's the sort of people that you need. And so everyone around you should offer you something, but you should also work on yourself so that you know you offer people around you something as well. Don't go into friendships, don't go into relationships offering nothing but asking for everything. That's ridiculous. People are going to shun you away. Even if you came up to me, I'd be like, bye. I'd be looking a bit cute, you know. Always forget this highlighted bit, but is it not my favorite part? Anyways, as you grow, as you evolve, you need people around you who are either going to evolve with you, be the cause of your evolution, or encourage you to evolve. I encourage you to assess your friendship group. Are there people around you who you just think, they're not, I mean, I can't see them being with me this whole journey. They're kind of just there for the sake of time. Don't keep friendships for the sake of time. Sometimes when it comes to friendship, time means nothing. It doesn't matter how long you've known that person. The people who you meet tomorrow, or the people you've only just met today can have your back because of love, can have your back better than the people you've known for 15 plus years. Don't be eluded. Time sometimes means nothing when it comes to friendship. Finished. So yeah guys, I will talk to you all later. I pray that all of your friendship circles are aiding your growth in some sort of way. Love you loads. Stay blessed. Mwah.